Hello, everyone. JLR investigates. Come on in. Come on in. 6/2/2024. We're going to talk about a murder mystery out of Los Angeles dealing with this individual right here. Some of you might be familiar with him, some of you might not. This is an actor, and his name is Johnny Wactor. And unfortunately, a terrible tragedy happened last weekend in Los Angeles, in downtown Los Angeles. And a week later, there's still no arrests. His name is Johnny Wactor. He is a General Hospital actor. He was on General Hospital about 2020 to 2022. He's 37 years old. He was known as Brando. He also starred in other movies, including Criminal Minds, or other series and other, television shows, Criminal Minds, and many others. So he was working in downtown Los Angeles by the convention center at a club or bar called Level 8. And it was about 3:30 in the morning last weekend, early Saturday morning. Him and his coworker were finishing up their job, and they were walking back to their vehicles parked on the street about a few blocks away from where they worked. And Johnny was approaching his vehicle, and he noticed his vehicle being put up. And there was thieves taking his Catalytic Converter, which is like the exhaust emission control device under everyone's vehicle. Something happened, and he was just basically shot at point blank range by these thieves trying to steal his Catalytic Converter. And his, he died in the arms of his coworker. It's a very, very sad situation. Now, I don't watch much TV. I've never watched General Hospital in my lifetime that I can remember ever, like a full episode. But he is known as a beloved actor, and people are outraged and sad. Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles, and we cover true crime. And let's be real. These cities in Los Angeles are out of control. These cities in California are out of control. Los Angeles, San Diego, Oakland, San Francisco, just to name a few. Crime is running rampant. Me and Magnolia were considering going to San Francisco and Oakland just to show you the break-ins, the car break-ins. Literally, you go on the side. Catalytic Converter. I was corrected by Magnolia. Catalytic Converter. I think I said Cadillac. Catalytic. But break-ins, people stealing people's tires, cars, smashing grabs. It's prevalent in the area of these cities. And it's getting worse and worse, folks. Let's talk about what's going on with Johnny. It's to show you the location. His co-worker is speaking out, and also the family of Johnny speaking out. They deserve justice. They deserve justice. So what's going on here? Let's read. New details emerge in the killing of General Hospital actor Johnny Wactor. Looks handsome. Catalytic Converter, Ginger says. Corrected numerous times. New details are emerging out about the shooting death of General Hospital actor Johnny Wactor early Saturday at the hands of a Catalytic Converter thieves in downtown Los Angeles. No arrests have been made in the killing, which has sparked shock and outrage. He played as Brando Corbin on General Hospital from 2020 to 2022. He also had roles in shows including Westworld, Criminal Minds, and Station 19. Here are the breakdown of what we know so far. The shooting. He was killed around 3:25 a.m. while leaving a rooftop bar where he worked with a colleague. He encountered three people near Pico Boulevard in Hope Street trying to steal the converter, authorities said. One of the thieves shot Wactor before fleeing. His co-worker Anita Joy posted details about those final moments on Instagram. We're going to share that. We cautiously approached the men, questioning what they were doing, at first thinking the car was being towed, because you got to obviously put up
like a jack to get to that converter under the vehicle. We were no threat, and Johnny kept his cool as he always did, simply stating that it was his car and for them to leave. Hands up to open his sides in peace. Johnny was between me and the man who shot him. As I heard the shot ring into the night, he forcibly tumbled back into my arms, and as I grabbed for him, I shouted, "Honey, you okay?" And he only responded, "Nope." Shot. We toppled onto the street where I pushed my legs under him and tried to hold his body up, screaming for help and screaming at him to stay with me. Her account fits with an LAPD narrative releasing about the shooting. When Wactor arrived at his vehicle, he was confronted by 3 individuals. So 3 are on the loose. 3 individuals are on the loose who had Wactor's vehicle raised up with a floor jack and were in the process of stealing the converter, authorities said in a news release. Without provocation, the victim was shot by one of the individuals. The 3 suspects involved were wearing all dark clothing and driving a dark color sedan. This is a converter ring, by the way, and we're going to talk about this because there's a serious... People are stealing these converters left and right in Los Angeles. There has been articles out in the last 6 months about just the rise. The converter has precious metals, and it's worth lots of money to thieves. And you know the economics about, what's going on in California, all around the country, but in California in general, it's getting out of control. Joy closed her post by saying, "My heart is shattered with his loss, but I believe I have gained the best guardian angel out there." The investigation. Law enforcement sources say police are trying to pull fingerprints from Wactor's car and are looking for videos from the area. They're also checking to see if there are connections to other nearby converter thefts. Converter thefts. While control exhaust emissions are typically found in the undercarriage of a vehicle and contain precious metals, including rhodium, palladium, and platinum, thieves can make hundreds of dollars selling them to auto parts suppliers or scrap yards, where they can be melted down and the valuable metals extracted. Theft of converters skyrocketed in California during the COVID-19 pandemic, which some attributed to increased economic distress. The trend prompted new state laws that make it illegal for recyclers to buy the parts from anyone other than the vehicle's legal owner or a licensed dealer, and increased penalties for buyers who fail to certify that the converter wasn't stolen.
Still didn't stop what happened. And I'm sorry, I apologize for saying this converter wrong. I'm going to know it as a converter because I have difficulty. I'm not a car guy, by the way. I don't even know how to change a tire on my vehicle. So these parts are worth a lot of money. They're worth a lot of money. And it's basically, he's confronting thieves in the middle of the night in Los Angeles. But why is this going on in downtown Los Angeles? One thing that piqued my interest was,
I'm going to show you something. This is where he worked. Now, this is downtown Los Angeles. This is level 8. This is where he worked. It's right by the Los Angeles Convention Center. And matter of fact, it's right off the I-110 freeway. And I could see how there could be a converter thief ring or auto parts ring running around these streets. And let me just zoom out the map just to show you. It's literally downtown Los Angeles. I mean, it's just southwest of downtown Los Angeles. It is downtown Los Angeles. This is all downtown Los Angeles. So it's right, he's working. Unclear why he was working at a bar. He's an actor. Why was he working at a bar, by the way? But one thing I noticed, what piques my interest is, and the way I'm reading articles as, all types of these converter thefts have been going on in downtown Los Angeles through the neighborhoods since 2020. They want those parts. They want those metals, and there's good money for it. So I'm suspecting these are like converter auto part type rings that are running amok. And they're probably choosing this area, one, because it's easy access, probably, these rings, to get onto Interstate 10 or the 110 freeway to get away. How often are police patrolling in downtown Los Angeles? I don't know. This is where he worked, level 8. This is where he parked. Right here in this area of South Hope Street and West Pico Boulevard. Again, just a few blocks from the convention center. He worked right here, level 8. So he's just walking about 2 blocks away to his vehicle parked on the side of the street. Why isn't there parking down here? Is there parking garages down here used for businesses and business owners? Or do everyone around here have to park on the street? Or is there other options? But it seems like people have been getting their converters and other auto parts stolen from them, including vehicles, since 2020. I mean, it's always happened all our lives, right? But since 2020, it's in California, it's just skyrocketed. But that's with crime skyrocketing, homelessness skyrocketing, poverty skyrocketing. I think a lot of the illegal immigration coming in, because in San Diego, they're just every single day, according to one of the local leaders there, buses are coming to downtown San Diego and just dumping people into the streets every day, hundreds, every day, every day, every day, every day. I don't know if you guys watch Twitter or go on Twitter and see what in the world's happening in San Francisco and Oakland. They've like shut down numerous businesses. There's the In-N-Out Burgers. One spot, the In-N-Out Burger, had to close down in San Francisco because people literally were waiting in line at the drive-thru at the In-N-Out Burger, and thieves would just come up and smash their windows and reach into their vehicles just to steal anything and anything, everything, laptops, book bags, whatever, smash and grabs. You would go into a store and 5 minutes later you come out and things are stolen off your car. It's almost on a regular basis in California. It's really, really bad. And I think it's getting worse. Maybe politicians might say it's getting better. And this should be a reminder to all of us. Maybe all of us should remain vigilant when we go into cities, regardless if it's the day or night. Maybe we shouldn't park normally on the streets. And instead, even though we're normally on the streets, you could put a couple dollars into the little kiosk or whatever, coin slot, whatever. Maybe it's better that you go into a more secured, closed-in garage, right? Where you have to pay to get out and you have the thing that goes up. Cameras in there. Maybe it's better to do that because people are now killing over auto parts. It's that scary. Now, I haven't seen this happening in the suburbs, have you? Let's hear from the coworker, because she describes in detail here, and I have a couple clips here. Very, very sad. I have a couple clips here, and the coworker speaks a little bit. We're gonna listen to this news report because they take you to the crime scene. JLR investigates do not feel safe walking around Los Angeles, even to live stream. Magnolia talked me out of going to San Francisco. I said, we got to cover the crime in San Francisco. Let's go downtown to, Russia Hill and all those areas. Skid Row in Los Angeles. Let's do some of the cities in California. She's like, nope. Magnolia's saying no.
It's been just about a week since that popular actor was murdered in downtown Los Angeles at 3 in the morning. And today we spoke with his coworker, but mostly she was his friend. They worked side by side as bartenders at a bar not far from here in downtown Los Angeles near Crypto.com. And of course, she's very emotional about what took place. We have to remember that she was not only a witness, but she is a victim when you think about it. They were simply walking to their car when all of a sudden this assault took place, and she was holding him in her arms as life slept away. So just a moment ago, we walked down to the murder scene, which is now turned into a vigil. Listen to what she had to say.
This is a double loading zone right here. So my car was right here, and Johnny's car was directly in front of mine. When he was shot, he was right by his driver's door, and the momentum of him coming backwards, we were tripping through the street all the way down here, and we landed in front of this meter. So that's two car lengths, almost car length and a half, that we were tumbling backwards together from the impact of the shot.
That's Anita Joy, Johnny Wactor's friend, and we are on Hope Street near Pico, where she and Johnny routinely parked. They worked at a bar, a rooftop bar called Level 8 by Crypto.com, and police say as they attempted to get into their cars, what they actually did was they interrupted thieves who were trying to steal a catalytic converter. Johnny walked over and was just trying to find out what was going on. They thought the car was being towed, but when the person stood up, that person had on a ski mask, and they realized that they were in trouble. He shot Johnny, and he fell into Anita's arms, as she just described. Now, of course, we know, we've all seen the video. Paramedics arrived on the scene. They tried to revive him. They tried to save him. But sadly, tragically, that was not to happen. Of course, everyone knows this actor. He was very popular on General Hospital. He had a huge following. People liked him so very much. Big blue eyes, likable guy from the South. And now police, of course, are searching for his killer. We know that one person shot him, but two others were in the waiting vehicle. So police are searching at this time, trying to find those three men responsible for his death. Now, coming back here to downtown Los Angeles at 10 o'clock tonight, I'll have much more with his friend. But you can imagine the trauma that she has suffered, and to have someone collapse into your arms, she has been through so very much. But we'll have much more of her interview at 10 o'clock. She says that she'll be heading back to be with his family very soon. They have not yet buried him, but the family and also his friends, they want very much to be able to find the people who took a life who was precious, not only to people who knew him, but strangers. Laura Diaz reporting live from downtown Los Angeles. Now back to the studio.
Catalytic. I got to get used to that because we're going to be covering this case all the way through. Imagine, you know, you're with your friend and you see your friend just get shot right in front of your eyes, and your friend falls into your arms. I mean, I can't imagine what Joy went through in that. Just traumatized, you know. Thieves over vehicle parts. Over vehicle parts. It's clearly a ring, folks. These thieves are professionals. Ski mask. Those things are like $2,000 each. Those things are like $2,000 each under the car. It's a ring. They probably steal these things, parts, and then take them to a chop shop or someone else and melt them down, whatever like that. It shouldn't be hard for law enforcement to find out who these rings are, because I'm sure people got arrested that were part of these rings. Here's another clip where she's speaking. Let's just listen to her again.
My only piece in this whole thing, the fact that he wasn't by himself, that he was with me.
Anita Joy still struggles for words when she speaks of her close friend, 37-year-old Johnny Wactor, who was murdered 3 a.m. last Saturday on Hope Street near Pico. We are near Crypto.com Arena. We walk back literally to the scene of the crime. A crime scene turned memorial.
There's a box for messages to Johnny.
There are candles and water, and pleas on posters to find Johnny Wactor's killer. Wactor, best known to fans, is a popular actor on General Hospital. To Anita, he was just Johnny, a fellow bartender at a downtown bar who worked gigs in between acting jobs. May 25th, after work, they walked to their parked cars 3 hours after midnight, like they did countless times. This time, a masked assailant was trying to steal a catalytic converter from Johnny's car and opened fire, hitting Johnny at close proximity.
The second he stepped forward, I just hear this crack, this loud crack. And from that moment, Johnny just flew backwards towards me, and I caught him with his own weight to his shoulders. So I grabbed his shoulders, and as he's tumbling backwards, I kind of get pulled with him. And I just say to him, I'm like, Johnny, you okay? And the only thing he said was, no, shot. And I had blood on my hands, so I rip open his shirt, and he has a wound in his chest.
Anita and a security guard tried urgently to save Johnny. Paramedics were called, but Johnny didn't make it. And now the gentleman actor with piercing blue eyes leaves family and friends to mourn him and help police find his killer.
They tried to get a catalytic converter, and they took Johnny's life instead. As I laid him down, he was already slipping away. There was no warning. There was no back off or we'll shoot. Johnny, as a man and as someone walking with me and protecting me, yes, he was right by my side.
In downtown LA, Laura Diaz, Fox 11 News.
I think there's going to be a lot of urgency to solve this case. There's going to be a lot of pressure because you messed with the wrong guy. You messed with an actor. You messed with, someone that was beloved by a lot of people. And I think there's going to be extreme pressure, on this particular crime to solve. Fingerprints, interviewing these rings, narrowing it down to who these people are. Plus, you would think in downtown Los Angeles, in this area, let me just show you the area. I mean,
You would think there's surveillance in these neighborhoods. This is the area of Hope and Pico. And this is what the neighborhood looks like. You would think that there is street cams and surveillance all around going up onto 110 or I-10. I mean, this is the intersection. So apparently they were parked on one of these side streets. I don't know which one, if it was on Pico or actually Hope. Looks like it could be either or. But man, you're talking about a downtown city. And I'm sure there's things around to be able to detect. I don't see any on these lights at all. Looking around. But they got it. They got it. So that's going to be, but I mean, well, the thieves, whatever vehicle, the dark vehicle they were driving in, did they have their license plate obscured? Were they driving a stolen car?
Now at 12:30, residents.
Now check this out. Just 1 month prior, or 2 months prior, they're already talking about these converter theft outbreaks, a wave of them in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles. And this was in March of 2024.
Now at 12:30, residents in La Puente are on alert as their community is hit with a wave of catalytic converter thefts. Security cameras captured a recent attempted theft, which saw the brazen thieves jacking a car up to take that catalytic converter.
KTLA 5's Kimberly Chang is live in La Puente with the latest developments. Kimberly?
Hi, several residents in this La Puente neighborhood are fed up and now they're warning others. They say there's been a recent rash of thefts that thieves stole catalytic converters and other car parts within the span of an hour. Residents say this community was hard hit early Monday. This is video from a resident near Puente Avenue and Amar Road. It was roughly 5:30 in the morning when suspects apparently put her car on a jack and tried to steal her catalytic converter. Something may have startled them because the car owner said they took off suddenly, leaving the jack behind, and later returned to retrieve it. The victim says they did not get away with her catalytic converter, but did cause damage trying to remove it. I spoke with 3 others who weren't as fortunate. Their catalytic converters did go missing, and they're upset that these thieves will probably resell the metal for cash. Meanwhile, they're out hundreds or thousands of dollars. La Puente residents have been communicating on social media and sharing videos. They say the videos show 3 possible suspects in a silver, white, or gray car with tinted windows.
When I started my car, the car sounded off and odd, and I didn't know what it was. When we took a look under the car, it turns out that the cat converter was stolen along with my O2 sensor. It's very upsetting to have to go and pull out of pocket something that someone stole from me, and it's so easy for them to resell it, especially the people that are buying these parts used. I feel like they're making it too easy for them to go ahead and do this and get away with it and get their money for it.
I work around the corner from here, and I had like 10 minutes to get to work, and I got in my car, turned it on, and it sounded like a V8, almost like a Harley. And it's a 4-cylinder, so obviously it's not supposed to sound like that.
One resident told me she believes there's as many as 5 incidents that could possibly be related. Some of these residents have reported it to police. Reporting live here in La Puente, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
That's Los Angeles County, California.
So and that was just, I noticed they said 3 thieves in that particular case. It looks like a different description of vehicle. Could be the same people, though. Could definitely be the same people. This is a ring of people. This is things that people are doing and taking cat converters under people's vehicles. Horrible. Horrible. LA needs to get their act together here, don't you think? The family of Johnny has spoken.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today under these extraordinarily, I can only imagine, difficult circumstances. These conversations are not ever easy for me to have with folks. I can only imagine where you guys are. So really, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Welcome. Appreciate it.
So when you all got this news, what went through your mind?
That it wasn't real. I was like, Steve, you called. I was like, I called him 3 or 4 times, tried to text him. But I was like, because whenever we got the news, or whenever I got the news, I initially didn't. No one was 100% sure. It was just that's what they thought. That's what they'd been told by friends of friends of friends. It wasn't like getting over to the East Coast here. So I was like, so I was calling the hospital, called the police as many times I could. Had a hard time getting through until I finally got somebody that put me in touch with the detective. And once I got a hold of the detective, that's kind of when we were or once they gave me the number for the detective, I was pretty confident that we were right. But it was mostly shock and not thinking that it was real, at least for me.
How do you want folks to remember him?
He was a wonderful, kind soul. He lived life to the fullest. He chased his dreams. I'm very proud of that, and he didn't give up on them. Always setting goals and going for them and trying to be better at everything he did. And he just was kind to so many people. He would have given that person the car, you know? Be like, whatever, take the car. So.
Were you all surprised to hear that he stepped in front of this other individual? Was that characteristic of who he was?
Yes, very much so.
Nothing surprising about it.
No.
Like it was.
That's instinct for him, and should be for both my boys, other 2 here. So yes.
We would have gotten slapped by her if we didn't walk someone to their car at that hour down the street.
That is true.
We've seen the outpouring of just support from friends of his and also for his former castmates on General Hospital, just really speaking to just the extraordinary, remarkable person and spirit and heart that he was.
He was a very kind soul, and he loved all the people that he worked with on General Hospital. Enjoyed it, and they were very kind to him. His mother on the show, Bonnie, was like a second mother to him out there. She had brought him some chicken noodle soup when he was super sick, and it made me feel so good because I couldn't be there to go do it. And he lived alone, so I was thankful for that. And he was very close with Sonny, who plays Sonny Maurice, and then, of course, his, at the time, on-screen wife, Sophia. And but yeah, he enjoyed working with all of them. It's a good time for him.
I can imagine you all are just in shock and just trying to make sense of how something like this could happen.
You can't make sense of it. I mean, that's the whole that's the whole part of it that it's hard to get your head around. That's why we're trying to. That's like we're even doing these interviews. Otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't be any. I was like, he's trying to keep the word out there, and also like make sure that we know it's real. Or me personally, I know it's real. It's to. I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it itself, but we're doing what we can for each other. So that's the main thing. And trying to. I was like, it's therapeutic to at least talk about it occasionally, but let's talking with the family as well as it's not easy, but we're able to share the memories and stuff too. So it's difficult either way.
Oh, I can only imagine. What would you say is the greatest lesson that he taught all of you?
For me, he's such a hard worker, and he left home with just his friend and a car with packed, full of his belongings, which wasn't much, and went all the way across the country, and I didn't really have a whole lot of hope that he was gonna, accomplish much. You know what I mean? That's a big dream that you want to go out there and make a living on acting. That's what everyone else wants to do, but he worked his ass off, and he made a life for himself, and he accomplished a lot more than most people would. A lot of people would have given up, and I think I was just really proud that he went out there and touched a lot of other folks and had a positive effect on their life. So I mean, there's a lot of lessons, but just whenever you're feeling like down, it's just you got to work a little harder,
Yeah. I mean, he definitely just loved deeply and fully, and then being, just very active, and nothing got him down. Even when I'm sure there were times, he always found the positive, worked to be better at everything, and always had good words to help and bring anybody else up. He was really one of a kind.
It's genuine and charismatic is the main thing, It's like the hard work. Nothing. There's no lie about that at all. But it was like he was a determination, genuine. It's weird that you get all the qualities in one vessel. That's the main thing. He had a little. It was like he had a little bit of everything that you thought. That's why he walked into a room and brightened it up every time.
Sounds like an extraordinarily special guy. Thank you all so much for taking the time to pay tribute just during this awful time. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you opening up to me.
I think they're gonna get justice. I really do. But man, just all of us, just be very careful when you're out there at night in these cities, because it just seems it's getting worse, particularly in cities in California. New York is just as bad, it seems, but again, don't park your... I was just told here in Mississippi and Virginia, people say cat converter theft is a felony and you have to have the car title and your ID to sell one. So, man, what's next? People gonna pop your hood and steal your engine? And Joy's lucky she didn't get shot. Maybe he was even protecting her, stood in between her. Because a lot of times these thieves too will just take out all the witnesses. But we're going to keep his name out there, and if anything develops on this case, like if they bring like a person of, a sketch of a suspect or catch somebody, we'll share. No one should be subjected to violence in any way. This guy was just leaving his job and returning to his car. Think about that, folks. Very, very sad. Won't be in LA anytime soon. Matter of fact, I was supposed to go to the border and cover the border, and I was supposed to fly into LA, and I bypassed LA for San Diego, even though San Diego is getting pretty bad too. But I said, man, I want to stay out of LA, particularly downtown, man. It's getting bad, man. You know, you're walking around and it doesn't feel safe, man. We shouldn't be walking around places in this country that we do not feel safe. It shouldn't even have to be like that. Shouldn't have to be like that, but man, and it happens in the daytime too. It's not just night. This was 3:25 a.m., around 3:30 a.m. All right, we're keeping Johnny Wactor's friends, family, and the community in our prayers. If anything else develops, I'll share with you. Thanks for watching this particular segment. Catalytic Converter, I got it right. You guys corrected me on that one. I'm not a car guy, so I really don't know much about cars, though I'm trying to get a new vehicle. Very, very soon. Probably going to get a Jeep. I'm thinking about getting a Jeep. If you could get a new vehicle, what would you get out there? I think I'm going to get a Jeep. I like the Jeep because they do a lot of off-road JLR reporting in remote areas. So it's like, I need to get like a Jeep Compass or something like that, or a Nissan Rogue or something. I don't know. But, man, I'm definitely not parking in streets in cities anymore. I'm just not doing it. Well, I mean, you know, if they steal your cat converter, your insurance covers it, right? And another thing, too, folks, is if you do ever approach a thief stealing something at night, I wouldn't confront anybody. I wouldn't confront anyone. You know, I don't even get into road rages things anymore with anyone or anybody. You know, before I used to argue when people used to cut me off or whatever, like I might go side by side and say, like, put my hands up and like, what are you doing? Whatever like that. In response. But I don't even do that anymore. I just take the high road because you never know who's who in these other vehicles, man. People have guns. People are unstable. People just are reckless. We don't know what people are going through in their minds. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Stay safe, everyone. Stay vigilant. We are JLR. We are the JLR army. I don't want to see anything happen to any of you guys. So, good morning. Waking up, drinking coffee. I have coffee this time. Stomach feeling better. So, when more breaks out of this, I'll share with you. Good morning, everyone. 6/2/2024. You guys have a very good day. JLR investigates. Until next time. We cover true crime 24/7, 365. Have a good day, folks. Bye-bye. JLR investigates.